Walmart Business is in the business of helping your business, regardless of whether you're building bridges, building spreadsheets, or building lesson plans. Ooh, that looks fun. Walmart Business can help save you time, money, and hassle so you can focus on what you're building instead of what your supply closet is missing. In short, we take care of business so you can do more with yours. We're the Walmart you love, now for your business. Learn more at business.walmart.com.
The new McCrispy Strip is here. Dip approved by ketchup, tangy barbecue, honey mustard, Sprite, McFlurry, Big Mac sauce, double dipped in buffalo and ranch, more ranch, and creamy chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hello, everyone. It's time for Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 441, season 18. Today's date is June 3rd, 2025, and welcome to the show. On today's program, I'm going to talk about Gary Deeb. I'm going to do a tribute episode about him. He was a media critic in the newspaper and on television. And I will talk about his biography and my memories of him. He passed away on May 17th of this year. Also, I'm going to read off a menu from the 1980s from Wag's Restaurant. Oh, that's that goes way back. People are still talking about it ever since I posted that. So that'll be a lot of fun. Right now, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Zenith Zoom. It's also the remote control, and it was called Zoom. Okay. And this commercial is from 1976. And so just sit back and relax. Let's go back to the 1970s for the TV commercial that was from 1976, the Zenith Zoom remote TV set. That's what it's called. Okay. I'll be right back, folks. Thank you.
You may have seen a TV remote control before, but Zenith's got one that does something really different. Of course, it changes channels and adjusts the volume. But now an exclusive feature zooms you into the action. Just press a button on the remote control. The zoom picture is 50% larger. Get a Zenith color TV with the Zoom remote control. Just press and zoom.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Zenith, the Zoom remote TV set. I remember this very well. And the commercial is from 1976. Sorry about that. Let me give you a memory about this. I didn't have this. A friend of my mom's did. She moved to a new house, and she invited us. She invited me, my brothers, and her to the new house. And they had a brand new TV, and it was this TV. And it was the first time I used to watch it, the commercials all the time, but I actually saw it in person. You know, I saw this right there. So I asked my mom's friend's son, you know, how does this work? And he showed me the remote control, and on the remote control, it shows on and off. There are 6 buttons, so it's on, off, channel high, channel low, zoom, the volume, and you mute. Okay, just like today. So I tried the zoom, and it looks pretty good. So you can see real close. But you got to remember something. This is before 4K, HD, you know, like that. And, you know, when you zoom, it looked very colorful and looked beautiful at the time. You know, we're talking about in the 70s. So, and when you zoom, and if there's credits or any typeface on the TV screen, you don't see it because you zoomed it. And then if you want it back the way it was originally, you just press zoom again. And did that. And that was kind of cool. Like that. So it was like the remote, like the Space Command, remote. Remember that? The remote control, I think, came out in the 50s. And it was like a laser gun, and you just point it at the TV. It was weird. So you don't have to get up and change the channel. You could do the remote. Sounds like a lazy way, but it's comfortable. Yeah, so Zenith, unfortunately, is not in business anymore, but it was a great company, manufactured here. It had great products, great radios, clock radios, televisions, VCRs. Did they make DVD players? Probably. Yeah, but towards the end, I'm not sure. But I know they made VCRs like that. Yeah. Someone sent me an email a long time ago. Can you talk about Zenith? And I said, yeah, I talked about it before, but I could do it again. We'll see about that. Okay. So at the top of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about Gary Deeb. I'll do a tribute about him. And also I'll read off a 1980s menu from Wag's restaurant that were located in Chicago. I think they were elsewhere too, I believe. Before I get started, I'll mention a couple things. I posted yesterday that I'm telling people I'm on TikTok. I've been there for a while, but I didn't have many followers. That app is so popular because they post a lot of crazy videos. I think I posted one. I'm not very good at it, and I feel a little self-conscious. At my age, I'm 61. Dancing or doing silly stuff. Sometimes I post about my health, but that's important. But in TikTok, not much. I just post whatever I post. From my other social media accounts. Facebook and X. I do that. Or, all of them, Instagram. But I'm gaining a few more followers. So I think the key is this happens. I'm sure everyone knows this. If you're on a social media account and someone follows you, you can follow them back. If you know them, don't follow, trolls or weird people. I don't do that. And you do the same I used to do that on Twitter. I do occasionally. And then you do the same on Instagram and, other social media accounts. And I've been doing that on TikTok. And it's been growing. So that's good. But, I'm not really a TikTok. It's not my generation. It's like that. It's for younger people. So, like that. And a couple more things. One guy sent me a message. He said he can't access one of my podcast episodes on Apple Podcasts, and it's about the Giggle Snort Hotel. So I checked it out, and I can't access it either. I tried to download it. Trying to delete it and nothing. It says it's temporarily unavailable. I think there's a glitch or something. If you have problems with episode 433, I think that's what it is with the Giggle Snort episode. You can listen to other apps or on my YouTube channel. I checked them out. They work. You could try that. So there's options. What's a shame. It's bizarre. Also on my YouTube channel, I had a comment from somebody. He said I was super annoying. He goes, I'm sorry, but that's I'm being myself. But I've learned not to answer to people that make comments like that. I try to avoid it. So you just delete it. That's what I did. I deleted the comment or just ignore it. Unless it's something really, really bad, But, sometimes people are nasty. They probably have issues. I wouldn't worry about it. Okay. Health-wise, I'm doing okay. So the next chemo is June 9th. It's the third one. We'll see what happens. Okay. I'll keep you posted. All right. Now I'm going to talk about Gary Deeb. I was surprised to see that he passed away. He passed away on May 17th of this year, and he didn't live in Chicago. He lived in North Carolina. And let's see. So anyway, if you heard that ding, that's a message. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I remember him very fondly throughout the years, mostly reading his columns in the Chicago Tribune and the Chicago Sun-Times. But the most memorable things about him was watching him on TV. And he was on Channel 7, WLS, in Chicago. I think he was on during the afternoon, like 4:30, and I remember watching him. And so I'll give you his biography right now. And so he was not born in Chicago. He was born in Buffalo, New York. And he started his broadcasting career when he was in high school. And he was an announcer. And then he went to the University of Buffalo and he launched his media career on radio in Niagara Falls in 1964. And following that, he became a news director over there. And then he... This message is driving me crazy. Never mind that. Anyway, so then he got a job as a reporter in the Buffalo Evening News, and then he stepped in to fill in to do a column for radio and television, and then he was. Then he became in 1970, in September 1970, he became a full-time media columnist. And he worked there for about 3 years, and then he got hired by the Chicago Tribune in September. And he also appeared every day on Fred Winston's morning show on WLS Radio. And then he stayed there through the 80s, and then he, I don't know if he got quit or fired, I don't know, but maybe got a better offer. Then he moved over to Chicago Sun-Times, and he started in 1980. And then he started his television career in 1983. And he was there for about 13 years until 1996. I didn't see him much in the 90s. I saw him in the 80s. And what I remember his reviews of television, mostly that. I did read his columns, every day. You know what I do? I love television. I've been watching it all my life. I'm a big TV junkie. I always see he would talk about the ratings of the shows or something new that came up. And he was very direct and brutally honest. He really was. Yeah, you got to tell the truth. If he didn't like something, he would let you know. Okay. And I did read his column mostly every day if I had the paper. And then, I didn't read the Tribune. We had the Sun-Times when I was growing up. So I didn't read in the 70s. But if I happened to have a copy of the newspaper, Chicago Tribune, I would read his column. But then I read the Sun-Times. I don't know if he was there every day. I don't know if he wrote every day. Maybe once or twice a week. I'm not sure. Then, so the memories of watching him on TV, my favorite part is, I used to watch primetime soaps in the 80s. Like, there was Dallas, Knots Landing, Falcon Crest, Dynasty. Sometimes the Colbys, but that was only brief. Anyway, every May, those shows would have a season finale, and it was primetime shows were big back then. And he would show some clips of what's coming up, and on the night that they're going to present, that would air, the season finales of the show, and that got me excited. So then I would wait. The anticipation was so strong. And I waited till I watched that. I watched all of them from the beginning to the end of those shows. And he would do that, and they were hot. And then when it got less popular, he didn't do much coverage of that. So that was exciting, and and also he put down celebrities. Some of it might be true, some may agree, some may disagree. That's how he was, but I don't know if he caused feuds with people. Maybe he did. I don't know. Maybe behind the scenes, he did that. What I remember about him is his big, thick black hair. I used to have that when I was younger, all through my teens and 20s. I had like dark black hair like that. It was him. So to me, he seemed like a nice man. And very informative and very intelligent, and he did his job very well, and then, when he retired in 1996, we don't hear much about him. I guess he moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know what he did back then. Maybe he just retired, or maybe he worked at another newspaper or on TV. I don't know. Probably not. But I guess he took it easy. Yeah. So it was. So when I posted this on my social media accounts, about Gary Deeb's death, the response was overwhelming. The responses, that is, excuse me. And mostly was positive. And there were a few people that worked with them during that time, and it was fascinating to read those comments like that. Yeah. So he was one of a kind. He really was, and the family has my deepest condolences. Yeah. So, but once his death was announced, they did tributes on the air. I saw a few of them on TV. That was very nice. Okay. All right. Right now, I'm going to take a break. And when I come back, I'm going to talk about Wag's Restaurant. And I'm going to read off a menu from the 1980s. When you're up late at night and you're hungry, where do you go? Not White Castles. You go to Wag's. And you don't go to Denny's either. No, you go to Wag's. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back, and I will talk about Wag's. Thank you. Okay, everyone, I'm back. Now I'm going to talk about Wag's Restaurant. Let me give you a brief history about this place. It was owned by Walgreens. It was operated in the 1970s and 80s. It was modeled after like Denny's, Shoney's. Remember Shoney's? They took over that when Wag's went bye-bye. They were mostly a 24-hour establishment, and their main draw was breakfast and hamburgers and stuff like that. So it became very popular, and my memory of Wag's is I didn't go to the one near my home, my old house, which was at the Scottsdale Shopping Center at 79th and Cicero. I never went to that one, but it was there. When I was at DeVry, it was 1986. It was the year before I graduated. I graduated in May. And there were a couple of friends of mine in class, and we had finished up a project, and we had time, for lunch. And because we weren't going to have class for about a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours, or something like that. So one of my friends suggested, why don't we go to Wag's, have some lunch? And I said, okay, I've never been there. So that was located on West Addison and Spalding, 1 block west of Kedzie. I didn't drive, I don't remember whose car I was in, and we went there and I tried it. It was good. I forgot what I ordered. It was so long ago. So, let's see. So that was my only time I went to Wag's. I never went another time. No, I didn't have I guess, I don't know, wasn't interested or wasn't invited. One brief thing I would say, it was founded in 1975 and they closed in 1991. But they weren't only in Chicago, they were in Florida. Okay. So I'm going to give you the locations, not the addresses, just the suburbs that was located. I'll get that for you in a moment. Here we are. Here we are. So, yeah, they were located in Florida in a lot of places, like Miami, Key West, Tampa, Daytona Beach. No, not Daytona Beach. No, I'm sorry. Clearwater, West Palm Beach. So here's the locations in the Chicagoland area. I won't give you the exact locations, but I'm going to read them off right away. So here we go. There was one in Arlington Heights, Bloomingdale, Buffalo Grove, Carroll Stream, Chicago. I mentioned one Chicago location. Also, I mentioned the one in 79th and Cicero. I don't know any other, in the city, that is. Crystal Lake, Downers Grove, East Dundee, Evergreen Park. It must have been on 95th Street somewhere. Hazel Crest, Hoffman Estates, Joliet, Lansing, McHenry, Melrose Park, Mount Prospect, Niles, Oak Forest, Oak Lawn. And now the one in Oak Lawn, it was on 105th and Cicero, I believe, which is now Huck Finn's. And I go there all the time. That's a great place. The donuts are awesome. I love donuts. Also, Norland Park. I think it was on LaGrange Road somewhere. St. Charles, Vernon Hills, and Villa Park. There might have been more, but I'm not sure. Okay. So right now I'm going to read off a menu. Okay, just a moment, please. And I'll bring them up. Here we go. All right. Okay, this is the breakfast special. Just a moment. Okay, they had the WAG special breakfast. They had orange juice, tomato, grapefruit, 2 country fresh eggs, if you want that. Served with bacon or sausage or ham steak. They also have egg beaters. They had the Sunshine Special, 2 eggs, 2 sausage links, 2 crisp bacon strips. They had that. They had something called the Big 3, 3 egg cooks, 3 eggs cooked the way you like them, 3 buttermilk pancakes, and 3 bacon strip or sausage links. Oh, that sounds good. Okay. Charboiled steak and eggs, half a pound steak with eggs, also charboiled chopsteak, and corned beef hash and eggs. Okay. They also had omelets. They had bacon and cheese and sausage. Wags had their own variant omelet. It was tomatoes, crushed, crumbled bacon, cheese, sauce, and onion. They had a Western omelet, ham and cheese, lots of cheese, and fresh spinach cheese. They had pancakes, buttermilk, served with side dishes, blueberry, strawberry, French toast, blueberry French toast, and strawberry French toast. Okay, that sounds good. All right, next up, we have the entrees. Let's see, appetizers. Let's look at that. Just a moment. They had mushrooms, zucchini slices, WAG special beer batter onion rings, or a combination platter, potato skins. You either want bacon or cheese. They had a skin mixer. Special teasers, that's what's underneath that category. Quesadillas, Italian cheese sticks, like mozzarella sticks. Nachos, cheese nachos. Chili and cheese, chili con carne, if you want that. Can't read the other one. They had soup and salads. Soup of the day, you either had a cup or a bowl. They had a taco salad. They had a all-American chef salad, or tossed salad, or coleslaw on the side, French fries. Specialty sandwiches. They had Southwestern chicken sandwich, traditional chicken sandwich, charboiled steak sandwich, fish sandwich deluxe, and that's with American cheese, tartar sauce, a toasted bun. They had a Reuben grill. Pita sandwiches. They had beef teriyaki pita and chicken teriyaki pita. Okay, that sounds good. They had club sandwiches or BLT. They had that. Patty melts. They had the famous patty melt, the super melt, the mighty melt. That's sliced turkey with tomato slices, bacon, Thousand Island dressing, and American cheese. That sounds good. Not the tomatoes. I don't eat tomatoes. Tuna melt. They had that. Also, they had steak burgers, bacon cheeseburger, or a steak burger deluxe, steak burger deluxe with cheese as well. Wag's steak burger. That was like with mozzarella cheese, sauteed fresh mushrooms, and onions, served with French fries. That sounds good. Okay.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks, or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Visit USAA.com/bundle.
Bundle savings are off total premium, not available in all states or in all situations. To qualify, auto policy must be active prior to property policy issue, subject to change. Restrictions apply. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
Wag's favorites: chicken fingers, charboiled steak, charboiled teriyaki steak, sirloin steak, stir-fried beef or chicken, charboiled chicken breast, and barbecue chicken breast. And for seafood, they had French fried shrimp, golden fish fillets, and stir-fried shrimp. Okay. Now here's my favorite part: desserts. Oh, I can't help it. Beverages, they had Minute Maid lemonade, milk, Dad's root beer. Remember Dad's root beer? Chocolate milk, hot cocoa, or tea, or iced tea. Any size you want. Also, they had milkshakes. They had or strawberry pie. I'm going to read them off right now. Pies, they had baked apple dumpling, or a la mode, hot apple pie, or hot apple pie a la mode. Fresh strawberry pie, whole strawberry pie. You get the whole thing. Jell-O, ice cream. They had it called a brownie treat. That's a rich brownie filled with pecans, topped with ice cream, smooth hot fudge, whipped topping, chocolate shavings, and a cherry. Also, they sold cheesecake, Eli's cheesecake. Yeah, you could serve with hot fudge, strawberries, or with blueberry compote. Okay, that's good. And let's see what else. And also, just a moment, please. Can't pull it up. They had hot fudge sundaes, ice cream sundaes, whatever flavor you want. The sampler sundae, that's like a scoop of ice cream. Can't read this word. Just a moment, please. And it had syrup with whipped topping and chocolate shavings. Also, they had a root beer float with Dad's old-fashioned root beer. I haven't had Dad's old-fashioned root beer in a long time. I talked about Dad's on a podcast. Also, Coca-Cola float. I never had a Coca-Cola float. Root beer floats, I love. And they had malted milkshakes, a thick shade. They had a hot fudge banana split, and also an old-fashioned banana split. So this menu of Wag sounds awesome, and so the food was very good. It's a shame it didn't last. Who knows? Maybe somebody will buy the brand and bring it back to life. I wouldn't count on it. No, that's fine. Anyway, okay. So that's it for this show. I will do a recap of what I talked about. I talked about my memories of Gary Deeb. I did a tribute of him and this episode. Also, I read off a menu from the 1980s from Wag's Restaurant. Okay. This podcast will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are available. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Overcast, also Amazon Music, Good Pods, Podbean. Also be on my blog, www.vanchicagoland.blog. It'll be uploaded there. If you have an email, you'll probably receive a notification of the latest episode. For the apps I just mentioned, if you tap one of those apps on your phone or your tablet or your desktop, and you tap follow, you receive a notification of the latest episode, or you can listen to previous episodes if you like. Excuse me. Also be on my YouTube channel, Van Chicagoland Stories, or you can do a search. You can also search my name. You will find it. If you tip subscribe, you'll receive a notification of the latest episodes. You can listen to the previous episodes. It doesn't cost anything. It's all free. Also be sure on my social media accounts, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Reddit, TikTok, Threads, Blue Sky, and Instagram. So they'll have the links. So, okay. That was fun. All right. So this is Pico Steins, your host for Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. Today's a little warm. I got to start walking again, but I'm too tired. I don't know. I'll try. I will probably do another podcast, maybe Saturday or Sunday. No, Sunday I have somewhere to go. I will try to do one Saturday. We'll see. Okay. So this is bye-bye for me, and here's a little traveling music from our favorite Chicago legend, Ray Rayner, saying bye-bye-bye. Take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.